What's up, AP Euro? All right, I'm just going to do a brief thing. So your classroom should kind of look like this. You have the NTI days, which is where you take your attendance. It's on a Google form, nothing too crazy. Then here are the assignments. This is the figuring out industrialization from that I kind of conjured up the other day. It should look like this. Let me know. I try to give as much clear instruction as I possibly could. It shouldn't have been too terrible. And then I also posted the Chapter 10 study guide because we're not going to, I printed them out a while ago, but I wasn't expecting us to be NTI for so long. So if you want to get a heads up, the timeline kind of got deleted for some reason. But I'm wondering if you can open it on Google Docs, maybe it will load. Yep, so it should look, there it is. Okay, so if you put it up in Google Docs, you can print it at home, you can do it online. I have the printed copy at the school. It's honestly relatively shorter than the other ones, like not too bad, okay? And I'm setting alarms in my phone to say, hey, read chapter page this to this. I want to really try my best on that this time. I know I keep saying that, but I'm going to try my best. And then we are going to go to unit 6.3, 6.2, nope, 6.3. All right, well, let's create. So materials, we are, what topic? We are in 6.3, second wave of industrialization. Boom, and post. All right, so that's what, there you go. Okay, so it should be right there under Unit 6 slides. Let's just quadruple check to make sure it is there, and that's the right one. Yes, that looks like the right one. All right, so let's begin. Now, I broke this 6.3 is a little long, so I kind of chunked it up. So I'll do the second half on Friday. And then when we get on Monday, hopefully we're in person, I can review 6.2, 6.3, the figuring out industrialization, talk about study guide questions, and go from there. All right, second wave. There is multiple waves of industrialization. So 6.2 we're talking mainly about the first one. And now we are shifting into second gear, into the second wave. All right, so we have multiple learning objectives. Once again, 6.3 is kind of long, but I've broken it up. So this is the learning objectives and themes for both, or for the whole 6.3. So we're explaining how these innovations and advances during the revolution led to economic change, meaning money, and social, meaning people, and how it influenced economic development and political development as well. We won't get into the political part in this one, so make a little X there. We are focusing more on economic and social factors in this one for the what I broke up. On Friday, we will go more into the political development. All right, and then of course the themes we're doing with Industrial Revolution. So we have technology and science, and economics and commercial developments as well. Coffee drink. Okay, now 6.3, we have a second industrialization wave. We're going to talk about its political effects on Friday. All right, so you all couldn't really find one. I think it was Hannah said in a safe. I actually had that initially, and then I got rid of it because I also was not a fan. So keep thinking of some goofy acronym so we can help remember it, because this is kind of a lot, but you just need to know it started in Great Britain, right? The English dude sipping the tea, pinky up. With the agricultural revolution, we have more food. Our bellies are full. which means we have time to do other things. There's a big supply of capital with a centralized banking system in Great Britain, as well as lots of money coming in due to surplus of markets and surplus of natural resources. The government policies, they're pretty favorable for entrepreneurs by the Reform Act of 1832, as well as repealing the Corn Laws of 1815. They repealed them in 1846. Once again, you don't really need to know dates. I know dates because I'm awesome, but it's mainly AP Euro is you need to have a general understanding of dates, and you also need to know people, what they do, and all that fun stuff. And then, of course, there was incentives for investors so they could make inventions, and when they did, they got rewarded with nice paychecks. Now, I made this cute little chart, okay? It's with the first wave, all right? So the main industries, textiles, clothing, steam engines with James Watt, and we're using coal and iron industries. The technologies we used, the steam engine, thanks James Watt, he perfected it. The spinning jenny, Hargreaves, cotton gin, Eli Whitney, right? A lot of the stuff you might have learned from US class or even middle school days. Energy sources that are being used in the first wave, once again, coal and iron, right? Kind of connect, easy peasy. They're transporting it, once again, through steam ships, and steam locomotives. How are they producing it? You have your manual labor. Think of like the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory. Remember how all those girls in New York City, that's manual labor. They're spinning and weaving and all sorts of stuff. It's a lot of factory work, right? And these people are not skilled, so it's easy. Anyone off the street can do these simple tasks. And the impact on Europe, of course, the obvious one is industrialization of cities, but we also see urbanization. We see mass influx of people moving into cities, and this is kind of changing labor and how we know of it. All right, let's see. Where is a good stopping point? Let's stop at this guy. That guy looked kind of good to stop at. Okay, let's stop at that guy. All right. So, understand this little chart. I put it at the bottom of the slideshow as well. It should be easy to learn. It shouldn't be too terrible. We will get back into okay, let's see. All right, the Krupp family. There's a couple families that you need to know that aren't monarchs. So the famous one that you all should know is the Medici family out of Italy. And then there's also the Fugger family, if you remember them from Unit 1. And then there's also the Krupp family. So this is the Krupp family. What a bunch. What a guy. What a guy. Wow, look at her. She does not look happy. All right. And look at those sideburns. Jeez Louise. Okay, anywho, they're German. Germany's not a country yet. But they're in that region, right? The Prussia region, the German states. So initially, they are a small steel factory. And under the leadership of the son, who's this guy in the white, he is the smart one in the family. He decides to grow the family business. All right, there he is. Look at him, all young. Okay, I highlighted just for the few and the proud. All right, he created the Krupp process, developed by Krupp, right? Alfred, he's the son of Frederick. Frederick's the dad, and Krupp is the son, or Alfred's the son. All right. The Bessemer process was used first. We've learned, maybe you learned this in middle school or U.S. history class. The Bessemer process is how they designed steel to make it more efficient. Well, he perfected that through certain materials. All right, so Bessemer process is just like a general improving of steel and Now we have the Krupp process, which is the improvement upon the Bessemer process. All right. This was extremely big because now we have military weapons coming. Ooh, spooky. All right. We see development of machinery. We're also seeing it being put to use in railroads, which we'll talk about later. But weapons is the big takeaway from the Krupp process. Once again, because of Krupp and this huge success that the steel industry has, this leads to Germany's rise in industrialization. So remember, Great Britain's rise is through this, all these different factors, right? Great Britain is the El Jefe, they're the top dog. Germany rises and industrializes quickly thanks to the Krupp family. Next, all right, the first industrial city was in Great Britain. It's in Manchester. This was during your summer project. This was one of the cities you had to label. It's super important because it's the first industrial city. It's also the first one to designate space solely for manufacturing. All right. They made parks specific, not like playground parks or Central Park, but like parks where they designated specifically for manufacturing. And in these manufacturing places, they were making machines to make manufacturing machines. It was just a factory making machines to make more machines for industrialization. All right. It's kind of the heart of industrialization, right, is Manchester. And the result was standard of living skyrocketed because now people in Manchester are making a lot of money. This is very successful because other places in New York City, France, Germany, Spain, and rest of Europe, they are all using the machines that are being made in Manchester. All right, and it's just when there is high demand, you can get lots of money. So people living in Manchester ended up getting lots of money from this. All right, and that's a good stopping point with George Davis looking at crazy lines. All right, I'm going to stop right here because I only got 15 minutes per video due to my free thing. So this is where I'm going to stop, and hopefully I can finish the second video, and we will go from there. All right, take care.